Hello. So, what we got today? Okay, well, this phone's been hanging around for a wee while with me, and it's going soon, so I thought I would quickly do a review of it for your viewing pleasure. So, today, this is the Vivo. Let me try and get it into focus. Is it going to focus? Oh no, there it is, Vivo. This is the Vivo Y55L, or model number Vivo 1603. This is a 5.5 inch 720p screen. It's it's Android 601, has a Qualcomm 1.4 processor, Snapdragon 430. It's octa-core. It has 2 GB of RAM, and the skin on it is the Vivo ROM is called FunTouch OS. And if you watched my Vivo X-Shot, it's not much different from that. It's relatively light. It's not too anything that is too heavy on the phone. Now, if I can show you this, let me see if I can. Okay, so you can see it there. You can see it here. You can see it like that. Actually, what it looks like, and then there's no hiding from it. It looks like an iPhone, to be honest with you, and which is a bit of a shame because I don't like the iPhone look from the iPhone 6 upwards. I think it's pretty boring. So really, for this thing, I think it is a bit of a wasted opportunity because this is quite a low budget phone. I think it's around about 200 and something odd dollars. I got this quite cheap. This phone actually I got along with an Oppo phone that came from a seller in the US who'd bought them for their holiday in Thailand, and so I got both of them from him. He was selling both. Probably him and his wife used the wife used the Oppo, I'm assuming, because it came with a pink cover. I got excuse me, I got both of them at a really nice price. And the fact that I spent a lot of time in Thailand, it was and I wanted to see what both of the phones looked like. Now that unfortunately the Oppo got sold quite quickly, so I didn't get time to review it, but it wasn't much different from this. The spec was almost the same and it looked almost the same. It had a 5-inch screen though, or just above. It might have been 5.2-inch screen, but it almost looked the same kind of iPhone look about it. And it was just pretty bland, although it worked very nicely, and the spec etc was the same. So what do you expect from the Vivo? Well, Vivo, let me just show you again to remind you. This is my Vivo X-Shot that I'm using, and they're round about the same size. There's just a difference in the spec. The Vivo X-Shot looks, it has a full HD screen. It actually looks, it's a nicer looking phone, and the camera etc is a bit. The X-Shot has a better camera, hence the name X-Shot. Now, I'm just going through the Antutu so that I get this right here. So the rear camera on this is 8 megapixel and front facing camera is 5 megapixel, and the camera is fine. Before I show you anything, I'm just going to show you this. Can you see that there? So 42,000 on the Antutu benchmark, so which is fine. You're not really going to complain about this phone being slow in everyday tasks. It's actually pretty decent. Not that I can take much of a photograph. Even my laptop is not there at the moment. The camera is fine. I'm not going to complain about it for an 8 megapixel camera. It's more than enough. Okay, front facing camera 5 MP is good for video calling, etc., etc. So I don't think you're going to have much complaints about that either. Now I don't mind this Fun Touch OS. It comes with its own themes, and they are a wee bit on the, shall we say, the Asian side, but my wife is Asian, so I'm not going to say anything about it. There's some that are really nice, and the this screen, I would say this screen, most people are not going to really tell much difference between this screen and a 1080 screen. It is actually a pretty decent panel on this. Now I'm not sure if it's an OGS screen, but I think so. I just think it's got some the black border around there kind of makes it look like it's one of these laminated screens with a bit of a gap, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I think the screen is actually pretty decent, and most people using this will be more than happy. Now, I'll just go back to my main point about it is I just feel that it's rather boring looking. It's a iPhone clone. So from the back, it's nothing much to look at. From the front, it's nothing much to look at either. But actually, the screen is pretty decent. So look, Vivo are definitely getting a presence in and around the West. I see that they're either their Champions League sponsorship or one of the big tournament sponsors next year or next season. You're going to be seeing more and more Vivo phones, no doubt. And the quality, I mean, it feels really good. This is a metal construction, and I mean, it feels nice. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It's just pretty bland looking, in my mind. And so we're going to get exposed to more Vivo stuff, and I think that's a good thing, and I think if they can, you can see there is where the SIM card etc goes, memory card, and here SIM card. This one is 16 GB and it will take up to 64 GB memory card, okay, 4G LTE as well, so that is nice. What other good stuff can I tell you about it? Well, look, the Vivo have kind of sold themselves as the camera and sound phone company, and the camera here, I mean, it's fine. It's 8 megapixels, don't expect a lot, but it's pretty decent. But the music on this one, I'm not sure this one actually, like the X-Shot has its own DAC and its own headphone amplifier. I'm not sure this one it does. It's not as high specification as my X-Shot, but the sound coming over the wired headphones is pretty decent when I'm using my RHA, and the Bluetooth sound is it's not bad at all. So this is what they're positioning themselves with Vivo, is sound and cameras, and this being their budget phone, it's not bad at all. And if you were to offer me a choice between this and say some other cheaper, the lower budget Samsung or Lenovo or something like that, I'd still take the Vivo, even though I find it's a bit bland looking. I just think they're making really decent phones, and like a lot of these companies, Lphone, Oppo, they're making pretty decent phones, and I like something that's a wee bit different. So even though this is kind of iPhoney looking, it's Vivo, and this is what I would choose. Now, what else can one tell you about this? Well, look, what you're seeing here, this is really it as far as the Vivo Y55 goes. In case I missed anything here, I will fire up my and the screen actually on it is, I thought it was 5.5, it's 5.2. So 5.2 is in my opinion, is, yeah. So that's the same, yeah, 5.2 with my phone. 5.2 is definitely for me, the sweet spot of the old, of a cell phone, because I think it is big enough. Let me see, I'm just checking the prices now. Does it say here buy now? Let me see how much. Let's see what it's saying here. But 5.2, I'm not going to bore you with it. Go. I don't know what. I don't know what that must have been in. I don't know what currency that was in. So let me see price. What we get here. I was looking. I think that was an Indian price I was getting there. Here we go. So, yep, so you can probably get this around 240, 230, and some places I did see it $200 odd dollars. So 5.2, relatively nice for, all sizes of hands. 720 panel, but I'll keep saying the same thing. It is a decent panel, so I wouldn't be too spec snobbish about not being full HD. It is really nice. The only thing disappointing, I would say, from my point of view, is just the actual look of it. Now this came with the screen protector on it, so I'm not sure what glass it's got, because I tried to look on the spec and it didn't say if it had Corning on it, and let me see if it's it doesn't say. Just before I forget, it has a 2650 mAh battery, so there you go. So this probably is going to be in kind of a competition with the likes of some of the Xiaomi low, mid budget Xiaomi or Redmi phones. So yeah, it probably stands up with them just as definitely just as good. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, the Vivo, if you check out my Vivo X-Shot that I'm still using as my daily driver, then it'll give you an idea how impressed I am with the Vivo. I just think they're a pretty decent make. Check their website if you're fancying dipping your feet into a relatively unknown brand. Vivo, I don't think you'd be disappointed with. It's a shame that maybe they're not offering stock Android, because I'm not sure how long it will take them to go. I mean, this is Android Marshmallow on here, so I'm not sure when they will get Nougat. Actually, my phone is not even Marshmallow. The Fun Touch OS is I think it's on Android 5, something like that. So this phone is actually more updated than mine's, and of course this phone's a lot cheaper. So that's it. Vivo, check them out. Any questions or comments, whatever, ask me anything, and honestly I will do my best to answer them. I'm not going to have this phone much longer because somebody is waiting to receive it. I've got a couple of other phones and tablets in the process for reviewing. I've just been checking them out, testing them, some eBay buys, so keep your eyes out for that. I got a couple of Windows phones that Windows 10 phones that I'm really happy with. Windows 10 Mobile, I think it's really cool, so keep an eye out for them. So that's it, the Vivo Y55 5.2, 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB internal ROM, and a 720p screen. It's pretty decent, and if you don't mind iPhone cloney look, then this might be one for you. Okay, alright, bye.